The Cobras I also have at 7.5. I have them in here as an over, but I think I'm going to go under on that actually. Now that I think about it a little bit more, I think they're going to end up 7 and 8. So I'm going to make a slight adjustment to that. I do think the Cobras are the biggest question mark of the entire league.
All right, new viewers. I assume we're going to have some new viewers here because of our guest. For you new viewers at Fade the Mahoney, we cover all the major sports and we gamble on all the major sports. And since September of last year, Trevor here, my Major League Wiffle Ball partner, Trevor and I have been previewing every single series that drop on Friday from a sports betting point of view. And last week, we dropped the definitive Major League Wiffle Ball 2022 season preview. It's the best thing we've ever done. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. We'll have a link below. But almost immediately after we posted it, I started getting hit up by members of the Major League Wiffle Ball family. We had some happy, we had some mad, we had some confused. So I extended an open invitation to anybody from the family who wanted to come on the show. And congratulations to this gentleman right here, Drew Davis. He won.
Hello.
It's a huge accomplishment for you being the first one to get on the show. So congratulations.
I know. Other kids I saw commenting, but they just, I guess, haven't pulled through yet. I'm the only one pulling through with it.
We've got a couple other lined up in the future to preview their particular series.
Got it.
When they're going to come. But we've had a lot of impressive guests on the show over the past several months, and you can check them out in the archives. But this is our first professional athlete right here. First pro athlete, Drew Davis. We're going to have some questions for you. I'm hopeful you have some questions for us.
Yeah.
We're going to preview the week 2 matchup. We got to talk about what happened last week.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess my first question is, can you tell us what is a typical week for a professional athlete in Michigan?
Well, at least for me right now, my typical week is usually pretty busy. I'm in school and working and then also doing the wiffle ball stuff as well. So kind of a balance between that. I'm doing full-time classes right now, but I actually just moved back to the east side. I was living like 2 hours from Kyle, which is, if you guys don't know, Kyle Schultz, he's the commissioner of our league. He owns it and he runs everything. So I moved away like 2 hours away. So I was driving 2 hours to games and stuff last year. So that was a big hassle. But this year I'm much closer to them. So things should be easier. But yeah, my normal like week is probably pretty similar to like just a normal kids week, and then just add playing wiffle ball once a weekend every 2-3 weeks.
All right. A little behind the scenes. Well, I guess, why don't you tell us about your experience when it comes to gambling on sports and what got you interested in talking to us? Lay it on us.
Well, I was telling them before the show, I've only gambled once, technically. I bet on the, basically, my girlfriend goes to U of M. I'm not a U of M fan. I hate U of M. I'm a Spartan and also a Buckeye. So I just don't, I have a despise for U of M. And when they were playing in the college football playoffs this year, she got mad at me because I said I wasn't going to root for them. So I needed something to help me root for them. So I placed a bet on them, and I thought it was like an okay bet. Like I thought U of M had an okay chance of winning, maybe. And then they got blown out of the water, and I was pissed. Like I literally said to my girlfriend, I was like, I'm never rooting for Michigan again. And I said, you guys did this. You guys made me do this. So.
Well, our show here, the phrase "fade the Mahoney," if you break it down, it basically means whatever we tell you to do when it comes to betting on sports, do the opposite. We are also very, very bad at it. We've tracked it over the past year. If you faded all of our picks, you'd be very, very wealthy because we're very, very bad at it. So you would fit in nicely. But Trevor, back me up here. One of our goals on this show, specifically when dealing with Major League Wiffle Ball, is we need to teach the kids how to gamble on sports. We got to get it at them early, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And well, I will say that we are really good at MLW odds. And that's one place where we've shined. I think if you look back at our history from last season, I think I did pretty well at setting the lines for that. Everything else, though, you absolutely want to fade and do the opposite of what we're saying.
I will say the only thing I know, the only thing I know for a fact about gambling is something my friend taught me, and that is good teams win and great teams cover.
Very nice.
That's great.
That's
very true.
absolutely right. That's absolutely.
And the other thing is that you can't get even unless you chase your losses.
Yep. Yep. Yes, Drew. So do not quit. You've just started. You've just started.
You're only 0-1. There's so much further down to go.
I have a note here. I have this written out word for word. Trevor Savage is the single best Major League Wiffle Ball lines maker in the world. He knows the teams and players inside and out. If we just talk about last week's preview, you lined it at even money, pick them on either side. It went to 3 games. They split the first 2. The third game was a tiebreaker, so that's a good line. And then what did you set the over under at for total runs in the 3 games?
14.5.
Of which I realized that was a terrible line. So on the show, I bet $100 on the under. And how'd that work out?
Dude, that was such a ridiculous bet. First of all, after the first game, 7 runs scored, on the walk-off home run. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. We're halfway there already. In the last game, got bases loaded, got 2 guys to come to play, and they both strike out. It's like, come on, just give me 1 run at least. But it was my fault. The line should have been 13.5, and then I would have taken the over on that. But it was still a good line. It's the 14 runs scored in the game, 14.5. No, what are you gonna do?
No, I will tell you. I just to interject real quick. I was there for the walk-off home run. I was there for the first game, and then I had to leave. And that was like one of the crazier things I've witnessed in like a game. It was awesome.
That was very exciting.
It was great.
Rookie in his first game.
Oh yeah.
I did listen to Pipe It Up this week interview with him. He said he blacked out. He doesn't remember it. So
I haven't gotten to listen to it yet, but let's also talk about how I broke down that series too. And if you look at my odds for the season, I was much higher on the Wildcats than the Diamondbacks going into the season as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that showed. I mean, the Diamondbacks obviously got really lucky to take that one game. I did watch the series a second time because I'm a true professional. My first impressions, you and I were talking that it seemed like Norp on the first look through that Norp like either hurt himself or just didn't seem like himself. But then when I watched again, he was still really, really good. And he had the one really bad inning, and it was because the wind was so bad. So it was like, it's hard to say.
So I'll also give you guys a little, I guess like peek into something to watch out for. Because I think it goes like unrecognized by like everyone that watches videos is, we made a new rule last year. Previously, like every single year we had played up until last year, we had used 1 ball for every single game. And we scuffed those balls after definitively for game 2 or about halfway through game 2, the ball after being hit so many times and also just filling with dirt and like hitting the grass and stuff like that, a lot of those scuffs begin to like go away or become less noticeable. And it really affects how a pitcher pitches, especially if you rely on grips to pitch, which is something like that I do. I know like Norp and Tommy, like when they throw some of their pitches, they do like kind of like a baseball, like curveball. I just throw mine all like with how the grip is thrown. So when that ball starts to fade, you'll see in a lot of games, like people will start walking batters and they like, the pitcher will look lost. I know in like our game last year, our opening day series last year with the Gators, in that second game when like both teams walked like in 10 runs, it was because we literally didn't know where the ball was going to go after we threw it. So like that's something to look out for if you like bet on like, I don't know, I didn't get to watch the preview for the Wildcats Diamondbacks, but like now we've switched it to where there's 2 balls, but the second ball doesn't get put into play until game 3. So game 2s are going to get so messy this year because like you saw it last year with our series, like the ball will literally start to fly opposite of how it's supposed to. It's crazy.
Trevor, that's really interesting.
Trevor.
Now I gotta rethink some lines here because I was I was also thinking, one of the things that I said in the preview was I expected the numbers, individual player numbers, to be down a little bit this year, just because there's more depth in the league and the pitching's so good. And especially like, most of the teams now, like, I don't know what you guys are going to do, but a lot of the teams are, having 4 guys. There's not really too many 3-man lineups anymore. So I was expecting numbers to be down kind of a bit. With the exceptions of Mallards, I thought maybe we would probably go with 3-man lineup mostly. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to hear that with the balls, to see how that affects the numbers.
Yeah, it's interesting to like see the balls and stuff like that.
Those of you watching who are not Patreon members, you need to get involved right now, because Drew, you posted a Patreon only video this past week. And there was a chunk in there where you were talking about the 2 balls, right? Wasn't there?
Yeah. So Norp had asked,
I didn't understand what was going on, but now I know. That's
awesome. Basically Jimmy was asking. He was asking Kyle. He asked a question a couple of weeks ago before we started the games, and he asked Kyle if we were going to move to 3 balls or 2 balls. Personally, like if I had to pick, I would do 3 balls because it's nice to have a clean ball. I should rephrase. It's nice to have a newly scuffed ball before each game, just because it moves a lot sharper, and it's much more predictable. Once it starts getting hit and sand starts filling in, it starts to move like a so I don't know if you guys have you guys ever thrown a wiffle ball?
Sure.
Okay. So when you get that ball right out of the case and it's new and clean and no marks on it, it will move pretty closely to the exact opposite of how you would throw a scuff ball. Just like the way it moves. So like a slider with a scuff ball will move like a screwball with a new ball, or a riser with a scuff ball will move like a drop with a new ball. So that's where we were talking about with getting a new ball every series, because if you use the same ball for too long of a time, it will start to act like it's a clean ball, and it will move the exact opposite of how you want to throw it.
Whole new level of information, Trevor.
So that's why we were asking Kyle if we should move to 3 balls. And basically his explanation was we found a good mix last year with game 2s being hitter friendly and a lot of runs and balls in play and stuff like that. And you do need those to keep like things interesting. Like if you have you saw it like a couple years ago, every game was almost a no hitter. No one was scoring. It got super boring. And so Kyle, I agree with Kyle. Like personally, as a pitcher, I'd rather have a brand new ball every single time, but like it just makes sense as a league and entertainment value to do the other thing.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Juiced balls and steroids. That's what brought Major League Baseball back.
So, Jojo, one more thing about the last week before we move on to this week coming up. I feel like the biggest winner from the odds standpoint, looking forward, when you're looking at Cy Young, when you're looking at MVP at the odds that I put out there, I mean, the biggest winner from week 1 has to be Nick Saylor.
Yep.
Pitching 2 games, like did not see that coming. I didn't even put out odds on Saylor's Cy Young, I don't think, which I probably should have. I just assumed, obviously incorrectly, that he would just pitch 1 game per series, and therefore it'd be tough to get him in the Cy Young conversation. But like, he has to be in there now if he's going to pitch. And I don't know if that was specifically game plan oriented versus the Diamondbacks. No.
All
right.
No. So Kyle texted me right after the series because I laughed. I think it was either that night or the day after. And he goes, "Oh, just to let you know, we came back and won the last 2 against the Diamondbacks." And I was like, "No way." And he basically told me, he's like, "Yeah, I put Saylor in, stuck with him, and he shut him down." And I was like, everyone is so, I can't tell you, like, I know you guys probably are too, but every one of the players, and this isn't like really a shot against Nick, but like, we're so perplexed on like how he's done so well as a pitcher, because he throws literally like, it's like he's like Mariano Rivera. Like he throws one pitch 80% of the time, and it's a slider. And for some reason, just none of us can hit it. And it's not even like Ryan Cratch's slider is insane. It's not even like Ryan's slider. It's just a slider. And like, I think it's just his control. I have no idea what it is, but somehow he's successful, and it's awesome. It's like,
it's got to be his control. I mean, there was a lot of where he just hit the top right pipe, or like where he's just marksman. He's like very Greg Maddox like with his
Mm-hmm.
control. And then, I mean, he threw a knuckleball in that series
Yeah.
too. Like if he could break that, and that thing was nasty. If he can use that pitch too every once in a while, like he's going to continue to be tough to hit. You know, so going into the season, I had him as the second favorite for MVP behind Norp. But I mean, I think that gap is closed a bit based on that first series, obviously. And then, you know, Cy Young, he's got to be up there now in the betting. If you got him off the board at some point, you know, before the season, then you got to feel pretty good about that. And obviously his hitting, he's just a great hitter. So
he would have been in the field for Cy Young, which we didn't even bother posting, but that had to be like 20-1 to be in the
21 probably.
The thing about Nick that really, I think, like, to me gives him an edge over a lot of players for MVP is the hitting protection he has, especially with how well Jackson Pearson did in the first series. Like, the way pitchers have to pitch the Wildcats now, they are literally scared of every single person in their lineup. Like, Kyle can hit, Saylor can hit, and now Jackson can hit. Like, you can't afford to just walk people or even just try to pitch carefully to them. Like, you have to go at every single hitter. And like, that's so important for Nick's success, because he's not just going to get like pitches on the corner now. Like, he's going to get opportunities where pitchers make mistakes, because you have to stay locked in for every single hitter on there. And I don't think a lot of teams have that.
Yeah, agreed. It makes you wonder how much I think they'll keep going with some 4-man lineups with Ty in there, but then once they get to the playoffs, you think that they probably just go three-man when they have to, you know?
Yeah, I think it will depend on Kyle. Will probably, I'm assuming Kyle, you might just evaluate like at the end of the season. Like, I think Jackson has a little bit more upside for power, but Ty gets on base. Like, he's a veteran wiffle ball player. So like, if he can just beat the Ryan Kelly, like that formula worked for them. So
yeah,
and he's better than Ryan Kelly. Like, no offense to Ryan Kelly, but he's better. So like, if they can have that Ryan Kelly-esque player who gets on base literally 600% of the time, 60% of the time, I mean, that's huge. So yeah, their lineup is, I texted my teammates. The thing I texted them after I watched the series, I said, Wildcats are scary good.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's can we do some numbers for this coming series? Trevor, you got those ready?
Yeah, well, now I'm feeling like I got to switch some things around with this new information on the balls. I don't know. So we got the Magic and the Eagles, right? So I was very high on the Eagles going into the season. I think Dallas was one of my picks. Dallas Allen was one of my picks to kind of take a really big step forward this season.
Me too.
I think their pitching is so good, right? Obviously, you have Dallas and Daniel. It's like, so this is as far as setting the number. I have this as a pure flip. Once again, I have it. It's -110. Just a pure pick 'em between the two teams. I know that I don't know what the Magic's 3-man lineup is going to look like. I guess it's going to be Liam, and then Chadwick and Bonham. But I guess Jack isn't there for the first series, right? That's what happened?
You know, now that I think about it, I think you're right.
Yeah. So I mean, these are two good pitching teams in my mind. And so I think it's pretty evenly matched up. You know, the Eagles' biggest issue is, I think, going to be hitting this year, figuring out who their third man is going to be, or how their lineup's going to shake out. And so I don't really know which direction to go with this game. I'm going to take the Eagles, at even money for the series to win the series. The number that I had for the over under, couldn't decide between 9.5 or 10.5, and I just feel like it had to be low, because you can just easily see like a couple of 2-0, 2-1 type games from these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to say anything, Mike, but
yeah, I want a number. I want him to lock in a number so I can.
Okay.
I want to bet on it.
All right. I'm going to go with 10.5 with the new information from game 2. Maybe the pitchers get a little wild in game 2. And I would be taking the under on that, though.
Okay. I'll give you a chance to get your 100 back. I'll take the over. Cool.
Can we make it 10,000 or 1,000 or something more than 100?
Why, you want to start to get even over how badly this is going?
I'm getting murdered. All right, just 100 is fine. We'll bet on other things.
We'll just stick with 100 right now. In our effort to teach the kids on how to bet on sports, real quick, when Trevor says it's a pick 'em, that means it's minus 110 on either side, meaning if you want to win $100, you got to bet 110 because you have to pay the bookie the juice because they're providing you a service. So he's saying it's an even match, 110 either side, and then total number of runs scored in the 3 games, he's set at 10.5. So if one game is 7-4, I already win. It doesn't even matter what happens the other games, but cumulative runs for the 3 games is set at 10.5. What were you going to say, Mr. Davis?
Oh, I think what I was going to say was, I think I was just going to give, I think my biggest contribution right now is just providing some input that maybe other people don't know. And I think I would just say is, I think the over under is a very scary pick in this game, in this series, because you have 2 really good pitchers. However, the Bonham, the Magic's main pitcher, he gave up last year the most home runs of any starter, but he also had a very good ERA. So I think it's scary just because you're either going to have him dominate two games because he can only pitch 2 games, or you have a game where he gives up a couple homers. And with the Eagles, the Eagles team is a very power hitting team. Like, they don't hit a lot of base hits. Dan pretty much only hits homers. Like, that's what his hits are. It's just moonshot homers. Dallas also hits homers. I don't know about their rookies, but so I think you're either going to get very low scoring games or you're going to get some upper scoring games.
Yeah. Just need one game to be high scoring, then I'll feel all right.
Exactly. Right.
You in, what is it, week 4? Is that right? Week 4, you guys are hosting the Mallards. Does that sound right?
Yeah. So we're playing next. We're playing on I don't know if I can say that, but we're playing in like 2 weeks.
Week 4. You're on the schedule for week 4. Says you're hosting.
Yeah.
I've had some correspondence. I've had some correspondence with the number 1 draft pick, Mr. Robles. He's looking to come on the show that week.
Awesome.
This man does not lack confidence.
Yeah, remember to buy his jersey.
Buy the Robles jersey, MLWmerch.com. Buy it twice. I can't wait.
We're way ahead of you on that one. We did the old buy it twice thing. We took care of that. I was kind of hoping it'd be here by today, but hopefully by the time he's here, we'll have it on. So any words, any pre-matchup words for them? I know this is a 2017 World Series rematch.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even it doesn't feel like it for me, just because, like, everyone that was on that team is gone pretty much except for Tom. And I don't, so I'll be careful what I say because I know who's going to be there and who's not. So I know, like, there are certain players from my team or their team that may not be there. So I'll be careful with what I say for that because I don't know what I'm allowed to say for that. But Jordan, I think is going to be so intriguing to watch because I think, like, you can kind of compare what happened with last year with Caden Irwin and Baranowski. It's kind of a similar case study because those 2 players are both coming from the same background as Jordan, both fast pitch wiffle ball players, where you transition MLW, it's shorter and you have a speed limit. So I'm interested to see, like, how he fares pitching wise with a speed limit, because I know it can affect stuff like movement. It can also affect stuff like control. Like, some people do really well when they can throw as hard as they can or throw hard, but like when you have to scale it down, sometimes it can be difficult to pitch. But yeah, I mean, I know Andy on my team, if you know that name, Andy Durand, his least favorite team, I think, is the Mallards. So I'm excited for him to get up there and hit. So
I'm not in the business of providing bulletin board material, but I can just tell you from my discussions with Jordan, he's very excited to put up some big numbers.
Okay. Yeah. I am excited to, I saw everyone calling him a winner and how he's going to, he doesn't lose places, how he's just going to come in here and win a championship. I know y'all had him as the best bet for a bunch of different bets. And I mean, I just know, I obviously didn't wasn't angry or anything like that, but definitely lit a fire. I think with our team, and just like, I think our team, I mean, Trevor said it about us when he talked about our money line and over under and stuff like that. Like, you really never know what's going to happen with our team and stuff like that. Like, we might come out good. But something to remember is that we have the best opening day record of any team in the league. So I would just say that. I don't think we've lost an opening day series in like 4 years. So
Ooh.
something to take note of.
You're gonna have to consider that when you make the line in a couple of weeks.
I know. And I've been so high on the Mallards too. So I that might bring me down a little bit. I like the confidence.
But yeah, no, it's exciting. I really just want to like, I think we are an underdog this year, which, coming from years past, there's been a lot of years where we haven't been an underdog, and we've been like, people have been having high expectations for us. And it'll be nice this year to kind of, come out as a team that doesn't necessarily have high expectations. I mean, our motto every year is World Series or bust. Like, we believe we have enough talent to win a World Series every single year. So like, that's what we're trying to do this year. And like, we're just looking to shut everyone up like that thinks the Mallards are just going to be this World Series caliber team just because they got the number one player in the country. He's never played in our league. He's got to step into our league and step into our rules. And so, like, I'm not even taking anything away from him. He kicked the shit out of me in any other wiffle ball setting, guaranteed. But like, this is our league, so like, it'll be interesting to see how he fares.
Early shit talking. Early shit talking. I'm getting excited for it. My partner here has the under on you guys. Just to remind you, he thinks your guys are going to have a losing record. He's on the record.
Trevor?
Yeah.
I saw that. That one lit a fire under me too. I was a little upset because I did my rankings on a Patreon video a couple of months ago. And it was funny to see, like, I agree with you on the Wildcats. I think they're going to have the most wins. They're going to be the best team. But for me, I actually had the Magic and the Preds kind of switched. I had the Magic missing the playoffs. I had the Preds overtaking them, although the Preds draft pick throws a wrench into things. I thought they'd do something, but they decided not to.
That's
I don't
great.
really know what they were.
Yeah, Trevor's official position on the Predators is they're awful at drafting and they're not any good. That's your position, right?
Yes, Jojo. I also have to. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my internet. I also have to run right now because I got to get the Little League practice. But
okay.
So I got to run out of here. But you can finish this up.
Okay.
Thank you, Trevor. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Some baseballing.
All right.
We'll just wrap up real quick here, Drew. As far as the Patreon goes,
yeah,
I don't know if Jimmy Norp is a comedic genius or not, but when he was standing in front of the video, if you pay attention, I'm not going to spoil it. Join Patreon. Give these guys $5 a month. Who cares? It's $5. I think Jimmy Norp might be a comedic genius by what he did when he was standing in front of the video. I don't
exactly remember what moment you're talking about, but he's a funny guy.
Okay. Well, you kept telling him to get out of the way.
Oh,
in the way, and he had his bat.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Everybody else, I think you should watch it. $5 a month. You'll never miss it. Join Patreon. And my last thing, you probably saw it. Trevor and I briefly talked about perhaps participating in Midwest Slugfest.
I did.
That's in Illinois every year, right? Is that accurate?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, I think we already announced that we're coming back this year.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. If not, we most likely are because we like them, they like us.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about playing. I might be, if I play, I think I might be the oldest person who steps onto the diamond.
I don't know. We had a guy who was like in his 60s, 70s last year.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes me feel good.
And they came in second place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were not bad.
All right. This has been great. The amount of information you brought.
I'm sorry I didn't have more betting information for you guys.
Oh, no, that's okay. Trevor will always have good numbers. And a little spoiler. Is it Jorgie or Yorgie? How do you best pronounce?
We say Jorgie.
Jorgie. Jorgie really, really unhappy with the numbers that we posted, and he was.
Oh, I was. I had some qualms with them as well.
All right. Well, he wants to come on, and I believe the plan is next week because I think his team plays next week, so we're gonna have him on before his game.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Robles after that.
He's not even the ace of his team. You can tell him I said that.
Who is Jorgie? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Okay. Well, hopefully he watches this. I think he's a big fan now. I think he might just hate watch us now.
He's a big better. He's a big better.
Ooh, I like to hear that. Like, we got to get the kids in early. Got to get them.
Yeah, I joined a fantasy baseball league with them this year, and it's like a dynasty league. They needed another player, and they were like, "Hey, you want to join?" I'm like, "Sure." I'm like, to be honest, I haven't checked my lineup in like 2 weeks.
That's probably why they invited you to join.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else MLW related that we should talk about before we say goodbye to the people?
I don't think so. I would just like to say I love the viewpoint that you guys are doing. I think it's awesome for more of the adult side to kind of like look at fun ways to watch MLW, because I know like we can be kind of gimmicky and stuff like that. So it's nice to see like more of adult side and more fun for the adults to watch us. I think that's cool because we're always looking to try and expand our outreach and stuff like that. So
well, that's our goal as well. So cool.
I don't know if I'm allowed to bet. I don't know if it's like the NFL. Like, am I going to get, if I bet the over on my team, am I going to get popped like Pete Rose? I don't know.
Well, that's a good question. Edonk asked that last week in the weekly preview. And my official response was, I don't judge. It's between you and your God. I don't judge. You can do whatever you want to do. If it's not your, if it's not in the league bylaws.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't bet the under. I think we're going to be good this year. I think we're going to be real good.
Well, if you wanted action on the under, I'm fairly certain Trevor would book it because, or you want the over, he wants the under. So I'm sure we could have a meeting of the mind. So, all right, that was really good. I appreciate you coming by, Drew. If you want to hold on for a second after I hit stop, we always tell the people at the end, good gambling. A day with a sweat is much better than a day without anything bet. So, good gambling, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, Drew.
Yeah, of course.
One of these days, we're going to get the pre-show stuff on Patreon so people can get involved with that. All right. Quick addendum to our amazing episode.
No one is paying for this shit. They don't even watch it.
Well,
there's zero fucking chance anyone's going to pay for it if they don't even watch it.
The truth hurts sometimes, E-Donk, but it's good to hear it. E-Donk, you swept Trevor last week. How did that feel?
Well, I'm pretty bad at sports betting, gambling in general, but Trevor makes me look like a savant.
Yeah, Trevor and I have been doing some chatting on the side with some betting, and things have been going pretty well for me. I don't even need to pick a winner ever. Trevor will just make sure he takes care of me.
That's why I'm on this show, right? I mean,
yeah, we got some of the worst bettors here. All right. You don't call it near.
Heads.
Oh my God. It's tails. All right, Trevor. You're gonna be in the house, right?
yes. Wait, next week can we bet on the coin flip also? Because I have a chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll post odds beforehand. E-Donk winning the coin flip will be plus 10,000.
I like that.
All right.
I will be in the house tonight for the Heat versus Sixers game 6. It comes after a much more important game, which is my Little League team versus a neighboring town's team, where we're favored by 8 runs.
Ooh.
And I like our chance. I like our chances tonight to win the game. I like taking the other team with the 8 runs because half my team is going to the zoo today, and the other half went yesterday. So you know how that can play into things there.
That's a tough handicap.
Yeah,
There's a lot of walking involved at the zoo, so they might be exhausted in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you saying the run line is 7.5? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you see that any. All right, Sixers favored by 2 tonight at home. They're down 2 games to 3. They shit the bed last game. You're going to be there. What do you
got? In these situations, you always have to go with a happiness hedge. So I'm taking the Heat because either way, if the Sixers win, that's great because, I mean, it doesn't really matter because they suck and I hate them. But also, if they lose, then I win the money from E-Donk, which covers the cost of my ticket for the game.
Okay. And again, we're at 1,000 per game. You lost 2,000 last week. winning that 2000 made a huge difference in your life the way the past week has gone, right? Edonk, I hear you're getting Twitter messages from Maserati suggesting you buy cars. Is that correct?
Yeah, Twitter's trolling the shit out of me today.
Uh-huh.
Hey, the good thing is that I paid Edonk in crypto, so it's actually worth nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. You know, all those, I was in the wager exchange punting off all this shit, and I paid some of it in crypto, and I feel like it's great. It's like I didn't even lose.
All right. Last game, Edonk, riding the hot streak. The Mavericks are hosting the Suns. And again, you get the Mavericks at home getting 2 points.
I don't think you pronounce the E.
When you spell it all out, it's a very weird looking word, but it is the Mavericks.
What's the line? I was so fucking tilted at you calling it the Mavericks that I couldn't even concentrate on anything else.
This is the show, everybody. This is the show. The Suns are favored by 2 on the road.
God, everyone. Oh gosh, wow. We'll go with Suns. Suns. I like the Suns.
Wow, I did not see that coming at all. All right, so you're on the Suns. Trevor's on the
I'm gonna have to confirm that at the poker room today. I have to get the consensus of the room.
All right, real quick, each of you give me your star rating on the play, because even though you guys you swept last week, Edonk, we did lose a net half star as a channel because Trevor was more confident in his than yours. So good job, Trevor. We're closing in on the minus 500 number. Trevor, the Heat, I'm guessing 5 stars.
Now we're gonna go with 4 stars.
Ooh, okay.
4 stars. And if Edonk's analysis there didn't just show you how deep we are as a show in our analysis and thorough and inspiring confidence in our bettors, I don't know what else could.
Well, I did a lot of research this morning, and I did so much research, so much deep dive that I just confused the shit out of myself.
Understandable.
How many stars on the Suns, Edonk?
2.5. Hi, Jody.
Hi.
2.5. Ooh, cameo. Foot cameo, or is that it?
You want to come show your foot?
I mean, no, not really.
Okay.
I don't want to show any part of me right now.
Nope, she doesn't.
Sweating to death. And
Wow.
Suns or Mavericks?
She seems.
Mavericks or Suns?
Mavericks.
Ooh,
Wow.
double play.
Jody seems like she's in a great mood.
I'm really, really busy.
Jody's crypto portfolio really took a shit recently, right?
Yeah, she's not doing too good.
Sounds tilted as fuck.
All right.
I am.
Verbal cameo from crowd favorite Jody Savage. I hope our new viewers from Major League Wiffle Ball stuck around to see how badly we do at betting on other major sports. Anything else, anybody? Or can we say good gambling and get out?
Where's my purse?
Where's the purse? That's our new tagline. Where's the purse? Good gambling, everybody.
Bye.